My pain is like red hot lava radiating through my whole body.
Most days I feel like the Tin Man, but also like I'm getting pounded with a hammer all over. It's almost like there's too much for my senses to handle.
Sometimes it feels like there's somebody out there who has a voodoo doll and they're stabbing me all over, in my legs, in my arms, in my back. The pain is like a cage or a lattice underneath my rib cage, pushing outwards through my ribs, trying to push its way out of my body.
I often feel like I'm not in control of my body, like I'm being controlled by an evil puppeteer who's tied knots in my muscles and pulled my strings really tight, and it really hurts.
It feels like I'm carrying 2 massive, heavy buckets of water in each hand every minute of the day.
All of these women have a chronic condition called fibromyalgia that makes their bodies hypersensitive to pain. One of them happens to be me. Nobody really knows how many people have the condition, but estimates suggest 1 in 20 people are living with it. And it's 7 times more likely to affect women than men. Louise runs a movement class for sufferers, so we've come to see if it could help us.
I was struck with fibromyalgia at the young age of 18. So the world was my oyster. I was training to be a dancer. I was playing football for Arsenal ladies. Everything was amazing. And then suddenly, my body just broke.
We might look fine, but people with fibro can often find even basic movement painful and exhausting.
So it was a long journey from being the dancer that I was to where I am today, and it was really important to me to support other people with fibromyalgia through movement, because when you're in so much pain and have so much fatigue, you're scared to move, and I knew that there was benefits to it and it would help. So I set about designing the class much around my own dance experience and what I know about dance and the body and pain and fatigue.
The condition is so mysterious and poorly understood. In the past, I've questioned whether I just made the whole thing up.
Like it's something you've created, like you're mad. Years of feeling like you're cuckoo. And it's not, it's real. It's real. You just can't see it, it's invisible.
I wanted to speak to the Queen of Pain, Oxford University Professor Irene Tracy, who's been studying pain for 20 years.
So when we think about fibromyalgia as a functional pain disorder, we still don't know what the actual trigger is that is causing the body to have this hypersensitivity and this pain. What we do know, using techniques like I use, which is brain imaging, to actually go behind what the person is saying and measure what's happening in their brain or their spinal cord. Their brains are clearly different, they're clearly in pain, they're clearly got signals and networks on that is active that looks very different to an age and sex match control who isn't in pain.
Scientists are only just starting to understand why we're hurting so much.
Chronic pain is the system gone wrong.
When a body's in pain long term,
things change. So things start to get amplified. So it's like having little amplifiers inside your body that start to turn up the signals. Then they start to rewire and start to sort of almost send the signals into other parts of the brain that are going to produce the experience being more unpleasant and more fearful and more threatening. So people will often become depressed, they'll become more anxious, they'll start to worry about their pain. So these are all brain circuits that will start to get activated, which actually, unfortunately, are then going to make the whole processing of those signals worse.
Because fibro is medically unexplained, it often takes years to diagnose.
So for 10 years, doctors were saying it's all in your head and you're just doing too much. And I've always been really active. So when I got struck down, people, instead of hearing that I'm in pain, something's wrong, people would just be like, oh, well, slow down. Why are you doing so much?
Delay, the years of frustration and waiting.
It's very unpredictable, so you never know when you'll be stuck in bed.
So I think it is really hard to understand how someone can be fine 1 minute and then not the next minute, and there be no mechanical reason. But sometimes I can be absolutely fine, racing around, doing my normal life stuff, and then bam, can't walk. Yes, I think it would be helpful sometimes to like if I change a different colour, if my skin went a different colour to show other people what's going on. So like if I was in a 10 intense pain, that would be a red, or if I was just, 1 down at the bottom, a green pain, and then kind of different colours in between. And that would show outwardly to people what was going on internally for me. But, I always had visions of being this mum who cooked all the homemade food and, took her kid to the park, and we did trips every weekend. And I do that when I can, but there are days where the kids get flung a ready meal and sent upstairs because mummy is, you can't even touch me right now. I don't like it when it robs me of being the mum that I wanted to be to my children.
I know my fibromyalgia was caused by a viral illness, but Jess still has no idea what triggered hers.
During my second year of university, my health basically rapidly went downhill quite quickly. And it just seemed to come out of nowhere. Like 1 minute I was really healthy and happy, and the next minute I could hardly stand up. When you're living with chronic pain, you think you're going mad and people don't believe you. And that can be really stressful. When I was at uni, I really struggled walking, let alone stairs, and my husband is an angel, and he spent a lot of his time literally carrying me up and down stairs. And then during my final year, he ended up wheeling me to lectures and then picking me up.
This is the first time she's left the house in 3 days.
I think it's a massive achievement.
There's no cure for our pain, but learning about the neuroscience has helped me realise that how I emotionally process my pain could actually make it better.
But pain is something that is in your head, and as such, there's an incredible toolbox in there that you've got use of that can either make the experience worse or make it better.
We've all found ways to deal with it.
My biggest tip, the thing I find most helpful, is my practice of mindfulness and meditation, which has just completely transformed the way that I respond to my pain and the way that I interpret it, and it's helped me with acceptance.
Even through the hard times, please try and count your blessings. Try and count your blessings, because it sucks. Like, it really does, but we do get granted good times. Sometimes it might just be an hour for some people. It might just be an hour in the day where they're just free, where they're able to sit up without feeling pain.
People aren't understanding that you need to move your bodies. If you stay still for too long, you will seize up. It's as simple as that. So even if you're in your bed and you can do a few little movements of your hands or a few wrist rolls, every little helps. It really does.